It's hard. I find solace in just being myself and not trying to live up to anybody's expectations, you know. But it does bother me at times. I have episodes. It's like I've been dealing with it for so long. I know what it feels like when it's coming.
Mm.
So there's really no solution you can have. You just have to kind of like deal with it and ride this shit out. I say look for love, not from other people, but within yourself, and that kind of helps. But it's all about taking care of your temple. And if you're taking care of your temple, not only are you doing something, for yourself, but you're also taking the time out to consider your health, taking the time out to consider being there for your people, as long as you can possibly be, that kind of thing, you know? So that's what it was for me. And as far as the mental part of it, to cope, you do the physical. To cope with the mental part, you do the physical. It doesn't always work, but hey, I like if someone's out there right now listening and you're going through depression and all that shit, all I could tell you is I hope your today is better than your yesterday and your tomorrow even better.
Now I will never be your hater, I'm your biggest fan. I hope it falls into place just how you planned it. Life could put you in a pickle, just make sure it's kosher. Lean on me like Bill Withers until you smell the roses.
What's happening, fam? L.A.R movement still moving. Subscriber died trying. You see the thumbnail. But more importantly, you saw the clip. Shout out to Method Man, man. You know, this one's like fighting through depression. I once talked about this a clip with 50 Cent when he said it's a luxury. Like the depression is a luxury. And I'm not gonna front him like one of them people, you know. But at the same time, I understand that people could be depressed. And it's harder for some people, right? So I'm gonna try to bridge those two things so people to understand where I'm coming from when I say some of these things. Because when a person says like depression is a luxury, what you're trying to say is I don't have the time to be depressed, even if I'm depressed. I don't have enough enough time to get it done. I can't I gotta work through it while I'm working. I gotta work through it while this stuff is going on. And some people don't get that. And shout out to Method Man because he like just like he can say he feels it. He is going on so much he knows when it's coming. And I remember dealing, dealing with a lot of trying moments in life. Let's just say that. And I knew like I ain't feeling good. But guess what? I can't stop. You get what I'm saying? And sometimes um people don't realize like things add to it and things subtract from it. And what I mean by that is, for me at least, and when he said take care of the physical, the worse I feel physically, the worse I could feel mentally, right? Mind, body, and soul, whatever. Um, some people mask it. They do things to mask their emotions, drugs, alcohol, sometimes attention, things like that. And what happens is you find yourself in a position where you might be doubly depressed if the drugs aren't there, the alcohol isn't there, or the people aren't there, the tension isn't there, the party isn't there, the sex isn't there. Because like I know people who um they had a hard time being alone with themselves because nothing there was no good emotion that came from it. It was all just dark, dark, dark. So that's one thing. The other thing is this, sometimes you got to learn to, you know, fight through it because it's sad to say it this way, but even though you're depressed, there might be somebody going through something worse than you that needs your help while you're depressed. And you can't you can't let your feelings destroy the help that they need from you. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it happens. It happens, but it, but it's necessary to get that done and then go deal with yourself later. And sometimes, there's a loneliness in fighting depression because sometimes your pride doesn't want people to know. I don't want you to know how that I'm not feeling good. I could have a smile on my face, but I could laugh, I could joke, or I could just be stone faced, or I could be angry, whatever it is. But I'm not gonna let you know that I'm having bad moments and bad thoughts and I'm not really well. You get what I'm saying? I'm not gonna let you know that. And sometimes, and I'll say this as a person who people used to say I don't have emotions and you're a robot. You're a robot. Like you don't feel nothing. And just for the record, people can view you as not having emotions while you're actually going through depression. And yeah, obviously you ain't gonna open up to a person like that. Because they don't, sometimes people um, see things that would affect the person and make them depressed, and they see how it seems like it doesn't affect you, and they try to add on to create more to, in some ways, break you into a breakdown, and you're fighting that. People think you're fighting your emotions, but you're fighting somebody trying to sabotage your mind, your mental health. Let's just say it that way. So that's a whole nother thing. But you got to learn to fight, fight, fight. And what I've learned is it gets better, but the better you learn how to fight through depression, the easier it is for you to get through depression. So when something else happens, you know yourself well enough to know I can do this, I can't do that. I can dabble in these things, I can't dabble in that thing, in these things. These things are made to make it better, these things will make it worse. And a lot of times, unfortunately, you may have been the only person that got you depressed, or so you can't get any help out of that, or you're the only person that can get you out of depression. So, you could definitely go to therapy and help in that way, but you're still going to have to pick yourself up. And I would say it's better to fight it and get through it than to let it consume you, because it can consume you. And unfortunately, if you let it consume you, it's going to engulf you and everything's going to be worse because you're not moving forward. And you won't find anything but depression if you stay in depression, because you got to move forward out of it. But that's my 2 cents, man. You tell me what you think. Like, share, subscribe, or die trying. Catch y'all on the next one. Peace. You ever been at the top of the universe? I'm gonna tell you that.